Turn the lights off. Turn them way down.
Right now I'm in the Walla Walla area of Washington where they grow some wonderful wines. In the last 10, 15, 20 years they've been planting hundreds, thousands of acres of just first-rate world-class wines. It's a fascinating business. As I've mentioned before, I'm not much of a wine connoisseur myself, like good champagne, but here we have acres and acres of wine vineyards. Now the problem is, most of this was planted during an economic boom, when they loosened up money, when they loosened up credit lending requirements, when they lowered the interest rates, artificial boom occurs, and then people invest in tremendous projects based on the idea that this boom will continue forever.
So there's Las Vegas.
This is the end. Beautiful friend.
And I'm up on the hill overlooking Las Vegas. It's something called Calico Ridge. Looks like a fairly new shopping complex. It's on its way to Lake Mead. They built a brand new road up to Lake Mead, along with across the street there's a strip mall with first-class office space. And this is what a boom looks like. See, there's this entire beautiful multi-million-dollar development here with every single store empty. All the storefronts are empty. We got the lights on here in the front, but if you head towards the back, we're not watering this place. If you head towards the back, you'll see that they don't turn the lights on. So they had plans, I guess, for restaurants and shops and oh, you name it. They were gonna have it here. This is the problem with boom and bust. This was built for a boom that would never end. This is, to me, is just astonishing. Not a single slot rented out. They built this state-of-the-art, beautiful, beautiful facilities, beautiful. I'm gonna run a red light, run a stop sign. This place is so empty. An amazing, amazing thing. This thing must have cost 20 million bucks. All the permits and time and trouble and everything went through building this. Well, now they got security set up here to
We were in this house and there was a sound like silverware being dropped on
to
the
watch it.
and then somebody ran through the room and
Oh, they got
said,
a dog too. The dog was barking at me. This is hilarious, or not hilarious, not funny at all actually. But
So when these massive acreages are planted, they appear to be, with all given projections, they're going to work out just fine. Well, and maybe even be a pretty good moneymaker for people. Problem is that it can't go on forever, and that which cannot go on forever stops. When it does stop, there is a bust. The damage is not done during the bust. The damage was done when all this was planted. When too much was planted, when there's not enough people, especially during a bust, to buy the expensive wines, to carry the expenses, especially just the interest rates and all this planting and all the investment that went into this, 10,000 bucks an acre. Whew. So what happens is, one of the things we exporters do is we will take this wine, we'll ship it overseas, and at least that gives us more market for wines in Washington State and California for that matter. The problem of the bust began earlier in California because California got into this earlier than Washington State. And so you end up with something called $2 chuck down in California at Trader Vic's, I think, or Trader Vic's, not Trader Vic's, Trader Joe's, two different traders there. So you can take this in a winery, take it in any field what you want, but the people who have invested all the money in here and cannot cover the cost will go bankrupt. There's people out here selling orchards now, putting them up for auction. My wife was one out at orchard auction a couple of weeks ago, and they had to shut down the auction because there's just no way were they going to get the prices for the planted vineyards that they put into them, and so they're hoping, well, maybe in 6 months or a year it'll get better. It won't. It'll get worse. History's shown that. The economic realities, especially in one called the Austrian theory of economics. You've got your Marxist theories, and there's the Chicago school and the Keynesians. The Austrian school seems to have it down as to how things work, the Austrian business cycle theory of booms and busts. So what happens now is those people who have well-run orchards, vineyards, Vapiano and some others, they will do well. They'll be fine. There's others there that they're going to get into trouble. Well, the well-run orchards will buy up the less well-run orchards unless the poorly run orchards are bailed out. We don't like bailouts. We want to see those people who don't know what they're doing go into something else, go into what they should do. And those people who know what they're doing, let them take over the stuff that is not being well managed and cannot be well managed. Also, great time if you've never been in the winery business to get into it, because you can pick up vineyards dirt cheap, and maybe you do a little boutique boutique winery. So beautiful country, wonderful opportunities. We exporters will be helping out by taking excess wine here in the United States, shipping it to overseas markets, to growing overseas markets, or places where relatively growing, and you'll have less wine here in America, which will support higher prices for American wine. The less there is, the higher the price. So the fact that we exporters ship it overseas, that helps, as long as it's not subsidized shipments, as long as there's no subsidies having the wine go overseas, because then you got the one taxpayer paying to bail out another taxpayer. So in exports, there should never be any subsidies whatsoever, and it's okay. Down here in the low-level lands, you've got the vines, and then up there in the hills, I don't know if you can quite see them here from this camera angle, but they'll have all the wheat is up there in the hill. So very intensive agricultural going on in this area. Great time to get into farming now that the prices of the fields and the planted orchards and vineyards and everything else are coming down dramatically. Very good thing to have prices falling. This helps everybody. You love it when the price of the computers come down. Well, it's a good thing when prices come down in land and everything else. Brings the cost down, helps the consumers. And that's, we who are in business, that's our ultimate goal, of course, is to help the consumers.
This is the end, beautiful friend. This is the end,